Again, my name is Christopher Williams, and you're on our Tuesday evening True You University Mentor and Support Call. We promise to bring this call to you every week so that it will help you out in your mentoring strategies and programs. And so I'm very excited. Tonight, I have a wonderful opportunity for everybody tonight in the way of the information that we're going to be presenting. And I get asked all of the time, how do you move into bringing an at-risk person or person who has endeavored to be in a mentoring relationship? How do you go through that process of taking them from this individual who may be within themselves confused, lost, with some type of trepidation about who they are and what they have to offer in life, and how do you bring them through this process of getting to a point where they're very confident in themselves? And basically, that's the mentor relationship. And I want to share with you some top secret information that I've created over the years in some of our programming and what it is that we do. And this top secret information, I'm going to show you tonight how to take your mentee from in trouble to influential. We're going to learn tonight how to take your mentee from in trouble to influential. Now, I could tell that story personally because in my own life, I was a troubled youth. Not just bad out there running, doing whatever, breaking the law and all of that stuff like that, but in my own right, I had some challenges. I had some things that I was faced with in my growth and development that I needed someone to step up to the plate. And a lot of people did. They stepped up to the plate and they helped me out and helped move me through this transition. And I learned something as I went through that transition and I began to explore this opportunity to get out and help other young people and help adults, that um, as a process of taking these individuals through this change. And I felt that if every mentor, if every coach could engage in this process, you'll find that on the end result, you'll get the things that you've endeavored to get. That mentee or that person that you're coaching will arrive to the places that both of you have agreed upon that they need to arrive to, and it'll be a great experience for them. And so tonight, I want to tell you about my process called the OIT process. That's OIT. When I'm doing presentations and teaching this process, I call it the OIT. It's the OIT process. It's the OIT process. And the OIT process works like this. It's three stages that you will take your individual mentee through in order to get them to, again, the person that they want to be. And the first stage is this. It is the O. O stands for the obvious. O stands for obvious. What I found that this is the obvious. This is what you see. This doesn't take a lot of investigation. And what happens in the transition with a mentee is a lot of times there are some of mentees, some young men, some young women that you mentor, they stick in the obvious or they live in the obvious. They'll live in this spot where either they're responding to a stereotype or they're just responding to who they are at that moment. They're living their lives from the obvious. And that can be very comfortable for your mentee. So the objective in the OIT experience is, number one, with the obvious, I have to break through. I have to let that mentee know that there may be some obvious things about them that you recognize, but they don't have to live from that obvious spot. You know why? Because it takes me to my second point in the process. It's the I. It's the I, the letter I, which stands for insight. And this approach right here is where, from the obvious standpoint, again, as a mentor, you're armed with information that will allow you to take this individual to the deeper levels of their existence. So let's stay with the same example. Let's just say that I'm talking to a young man, and I said, for discussion's sake, an African American young man whom I start off in a dialogue with talking about sports. And I ask him or her, or I ask him, I say, hey, how do you like, did you see that game last night? Or do you play ball or something? And their response may be, well, no, I didn't play ball. And I didn't see that game last night. Sorry. And I say, well, do you play ball? And they'd be like, no, I don't play ball. I say, you never played ball before? And they'd be like, yeah, I'm all right. I went out for the basketball team, but I didn't make it. So, I'm not that interested in it. And I say, wow, that's something because I played a little basketball and I wasn't the star on the team, but I found that it was all right to play. But I think it's unique. Have you ever thought about doing something else, or maybe thought about working harder? It may lead me into a dialogue with this individual talking about, well, why don't you think you made the team? And they may come back and say, well, the coach said I wasn't strong enough or I wasn't tall enough. And then you can come back in with something and say, hey, you know what? Well, over the history of this particular sport, we're talking about basketball, that their basketball is full of people who were not super tall, but they were average size or smaller. People like Muggsy Bogues and Spud Webb and Pooh Richardson and all these people that they're not 6'5" or 7 foot, but they made tremendous impact. See, you got to tell them it's not about the size, it's about your heart. It's about bringing your heart to the table. And that now, boom, it's another discussion on a deeper level. And then you start saying, hey, what kind of fire do you have, man? What is it that you really want out of life? Maybe if we worked really hard this summer or doing something, you can get in on this team the next time around because you come back because I believe you're not an individual that just lays down and quit. So you see where I'm going with that? I've started with something that was obvious, and for me, I bring all the information in. I'm telling you, I don't discard anything. I'll use a stereotype. I'll use a cultural stereotype. I'll use anything to pry the door open, to break the foundation, to get inside to the deeper where the good wealth is, which is on the substratus, the sub layer of this individual. So I burrow into the deeper part, which is the insight. And what you want to do as a mentor, you want to help your mentee get to this place to where they're looking deeper inside of themselves than what's obvious. And anytime you can get your mentee to have an aha moment specifically about what's inside of them, man, I'm telling you, you're on your way to really having a fulfilling relationship with this individual. Okay? So we're excited. We're excited that we've gotten below the substrata, the next level. But hey, don't stop there because there's even a greater satisfaction on the horizon. And you know what that is? That's when you bring that mentee to the truth. That's T, the truth. That's where you, over time, you plow and you invest and you stick close to that individual so that from the insight, those things that they've seen about themselves, they begin to associate with this newfound self. That's the deal. They associate with this newfound self that you've helped them investigate or uncover, and now they live in the truth or a certain type of truth. And I'll add this, or they begin a journey of truth where they are equipped even more now than when you all started. They are equipped for self exploration, for moving down a road and a journey that will help them understand who they really are. That's the journey of truth. And so I feel that once I get an individual, a mentee, to this debarkation of sorts of truth, then I can introduce them into a world that possibly they don't even need me anymore. Because now it's like you've primed the pump for investigation. You've primed the pump for doing those strategic things that that individual needs to do to get down the road and begin to now walk in a certain level of truth about themselves that they didn't have any idea that they had. And I've learned to begin to establish even greater truths for their life, new truths, more relevant truths for them as they walk down that journey. And so that's the OIT experience. That's how I've, in a lot of settings, taken individuals from in trouble to influential. I do want to appreciate you for being on the call and making the investment in yourself and the investment in your mentee. This is going to be valuable information for you to get out there and change your life, to show up and to influence and impact a life. That's what it's all about. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Christopher Williams. This is True You University. This is our Tuesday mentor support call. And so if you have anybody out there or you know anybody that's a mentor and you want to get some information to them to help them out in the mentor relationship, go to our website at www.trueyouuniversity.com. That's trueyouuniversity.com. There's 3 U's right there in the middle. It's you are loved, you are gifted, you are accepted. Trueyouuniversity.com. And you can go there and find out all the wonderful information about our organization and get any information that you need to start a mentor program in your corporation or your school. And I'll be leaving some great information for you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's our call tonight. I look forward to speaking with you again. I'm Christopher Williams, founder of True You University, where we are higher learning, higher living. God bless you and have a wonderful night tonight. God bless you. Bye.